Okay, we're gonna start with a game. Now, have you played before the egg race, egg and spoon race? Well, we got the spoons, but there is no eggs. The chickens have slowed down laying right now. But we're gonna do an egg and water race. Have you ever played? Now, can you see we've got a bowl of water? We've got two chairs that we have to run around. So we have to run around them, Lucy. And then at the end, can you see the white basket on top of the green top? That's where there's two balls. And Lucy's ball and my ball. Yours is to the right and mine is to the left. You have to deposit the water, run back and get that. And we're gonna do it, what would you say, until we're exhausted. We'll say we're finished. Let's see who wins. There we go, Lucy. So, fill it up. 1, 2, 3, go. Start with it, see? It's number 3. Oh!
No, stop.
Number 4. Number 10. That's number 10. We're gonna measure. We had 10 spoonfuls of water carried over, but how much do we actually have? Okay, we're gonna count. So I've got 1, I've got 2, just wait, Lucy. I've got 3, I've got 4, I've got 5. Out of 10, I only got 5. Lucy, go.
I've got 1,
It's okay.
2,
Yeah.
3,
Oh, thanks.
4,
Yay.
5,
Yeah. Oh, we got a winner.
6,
Oh,
7.
7 and a bit. Oh,
7 and a
clear
half.
winner. Well done, Lucy. Woo! I wonder if you can do better. What a lovely day for sunbathing, for enjoying, for resting, for picnic, for playing. But don't forget, you must drink water, otherwise you get dehydrated so quickly. Where's mine? I don't have any. Lucy, can I have water, please? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, so thirsty. Oh, but it's only quarter glass. That's not very much. You know, when we ask God to bless us with something, whether we are thirsty, we are hungry or anything else, God doesn't give us just a tiny bit. That's gonna go so quickly. He gives us a lot more. So, Lucy, can you do the God kind of water? Yay! That's how much God wants to bless you. In the Bible it says exceedingly, abundantly, above what we ask or think. It might not be necessarily you want to be drenched in water, but it means that you will have enough. Maybe there will be just a few bottles of water available to you so you're not gonna run out. We're gonna look today at a story. It's an amazing story. It's one of my favorite ones in the Bible. It's about Elijah and the widow, and it's about the outpouring of God's provision to the uttermost. I hope you enjoy it.
Elijah the prophet spoke to Ahab, the evil king of Israel, and gave him a message. There will be no dew or rain for the next few years unless I command it. This will certainly happen.
Oh no!
Then God told Elijah to go to a place near a stream. God said the ravens would provide food for Elijah to eat, so Elijah obeyed God. The ravens brought him bread and meat, and he drank water from the stream. After a while, the stream dried up because there was no rain in the land. Then God told Elijah to go to a small village. God said a widow in the town would provide for Elijah, so Elijah obeyed God. When Elijah got to the gate of the city, he saw a widow gathering wood. He called to her, "Please bring me a little water so I can drink." As she went to get it, he added, "Please bring me a piece of bread too." But the women told Elijah, "I don't have bread. I only have a little bit of flour and oil." The woman and her son were planning to eat one more meal before they died from hunger. "Don't be afraid," Elijah said. "Go and prepare the meal, but first bring me a small loaf of bread. Then make some for yourself and your son. God says you will not run out of flour or oil until rain comes again." So the woman prepared the meal. She, Elijah, and everyone in her household had enough to eat, and she did not run out of flour or oil, just like the Lord had said.
In a story about Elijah and the widow, Elijah needs provision. He needs food and water. And just before he gets to the widow, he gets fed by various other things. The stream that was available, but it gets dried up. And there's no rain during that time. So he is struggling to find any water. And God promised to provide for him. Did you know that's one of the promises he promises you? Did you know that when you follow God and when you give your life to Jesus, that is one of the promises that you can rely on. He's always provided for me, and he will always provide for you. All you need to do is believe. And when you believe, you walk out in faith and know that God will bless you. He will bless you through your parents, through your family, through your friends, and even through the people that you don't even know. It's not good. Well, then God sends Elijah to this area. And as he gets there, he meets this woman who has lost her husband some time ago. So she is on her own, and she has a son. And she's just gathering some sticks. You know, sometimes if you've done scouting or if you've been or camping, you've seen the fire being put together. Sticks are pretty important. So she's gathering sticks. So you're guessing the idea. You see somebody gathering sticks, most likely they are going to prepare a fire. They're going to cook some food. So you're probably thinking, "Ooh, lovely. Maybe she'll invite me to the dinner." But she doesn't say anything. And he is very thirsty. So he asks her for a glass of water. And she gets some water for him, and he shouts again and says, "And can I have some of your bread?" Now, there is no bread. In fact, it's the time of famine. And that widow and her son have just enough flour and oil to make one last piece of bread and then die of starvation. Elijah doesn't know that, but God does. And God sends Elijah to this widow and her son. You know, when you read the story, you're thinking, that's not nice. God wouldn't do that. But did you know that because God sent Elijah to that woman, he wasn't just meeting the need of Elijah who was hungry, but also meeting the need of the woman who knew that that would be her last meal. And by them acting on their faith, both their needs were going to be met. Elijah could have said, "No, I'm not going to the widow and asking for some bread. I would like more than this. I would like to stay here, and I would like the food to just fall out of the sky, and I'd like a delivery van to come with from Morrison's or Tesco's or somewhere else and deliver me all sorts of lovely goodies. And you know, he could have been talking to God like this. And the widow could have said, no, I'm not gonna give you my last piece of bread. This is the last one for me and my son. Certainly, who are you? I don't even know. It's the first time I've met you. But both Elijah and the widow acted on their faith. There is an amazing saying by somebody called A.W. Pink. He said, faith is not occupied by difficulties, but with him with whom all things are possible. Who is him? God. God with whom all things are possible. Faith is not occupied with circumstances, but with the God of circumstances. Because you know what? Let me tell you, God is the God of the impossible. Many times in the Bible, in both the Old and the New Testament, there's loads of stories which shows that a lot of the times people can't do the things and it becomes impossible for them. But God comes through because He is the God of the impossible. He makes impossible possible. Hallelujah. And that's the same for you and me. And that's what happens to Elijah. He has this lovely meal, some lovely bread that was just freshly baked. Do you like freshly baked bread when it's nice and warm and you can still smell the aroma? And the widow and her son, who thought there was only just going to be enough little bit for them, but that was enough for them and Elijah at that time. And then Elijah blesses the woman with the words from God, saying that you will not run out of flour and you will not run out of oil until the rain comes. Now at that time, this land suffered with no rain. I know we live in England and we get rain quite often, but they haven't had rain for many, many, many days. Now the Bible doesn't say how long, but it may have been a year, may have been 2, may have been 3, a long, long, long time. And the woman did not run out of flour and oil. And you know what? She probably shared some with the neighbors, and she probably sold the flour and the oil continuously, and she became better off. But she had to act by faith. She didn't have to do what Elijah asked her to do, but the faith prompted inside of her saying, I am going to do this. I am going to honor what God told Elijah, and I am going to supply his needs, even if it means that I will not have enough for me and my son. But God came through with an amazing provision. Isn't that a wonderful story? God supplies all our needs according to the Lord Jesus. He blesses everything we need. He blesses us with our families. He blesses us with friends, blesses us with food and water, and even clothes and all the other things, because He grants us exceedingly, abundantly, above and beyond what we ask and think. And remember, you know, we all have faith in God. That's why we're watching the story. We want to find out more. We want to learn and grow. And it's good to have faith. We believe in God. But faith without action is dead, is nothing. So sometimes we need to act on our faith. We need to do something, just like this woman had to go out and get her flour and get her oil and bake it for Elijah in faith, knowing that maybe that will be the last one for her bread making. But God supplied her needs in such an amazing way. I bet she didn't even hope and dream that, just like the Bible says. So don't forget, faith without actions is dead. We need to act on our faith. And so I really encourage you to remember God's promises. He provides for you at all times, much more than you can imagine. He loves you, and sometimes we need to act on our faith. For our craft, we are going to make baskets. Have you ever made a basket out of paper like that? Seriously, it's just paper. You can use ordinary paper to make it stronger. You can use cardboard or even something more sparkly. We've got just ordinary colorful paper. You need scissors, you need stapler or sellotape, and you need your imagination about the colors. So I'll invite Lucy, my assistant, to do it with me. Come on then, Lucy. So first of all, you take pieces of paper and you cut them into thin strips like this. So basically, I've been already cutting, so I'm just going to carry on. Look, And I'm just showing you just going from one side to another and you making another one. So I've chosen 2 colors. You can make more colors than that. So Lucy's got a dark blue and a light blue. And I've got an orange and a blue, just like in this basket. So I'm going to move that basket away so you can see. And what we're going to do is we're going to position the strip. So let's start with one color. So 3, 4, 5. We do the same. Lucy, choose one color. 6, 7, 8. So 8. We can do more than that, but I've just stuck with 8 or 9. I think this basket has 9. And I struggled actually because there was a bit too many. So I've got 8. And then same, you choose the other color, 8 of those. You can do the same color if you want, but I think it's easier for me, for example, to choose different colors. So I've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the other color. So I'm gonna just bring it closer so you can see what we have done. So, like that. Now, with the other color, we're gonna just go through them. Sometimes it's better to put your hands on the other pieces and you just go, you miss first, you go through the other one, you miss the next one, you do with braiding. Now look, this is what we've done. Can you see? One is under, one is on top, one is under, one is on top. Again, the same, but it'll be the other way around this time. So we're gonna carry on. It's easier to go from one side to another, but you can make it any way you find easy for yourself. So this is my second one, and you can check by looking. It has to be different. So again, in and out, and in and out, and in and out, like this. So I've got 3. I'll just try to move it away from Lucy so she's got more space. Okay, and then again, on top and under, on top and under. I really hope you can see, but you can experiment yourself. It kind of makes sense once you start doing it. It's very nice feeling doing it because it's like paper and you're putting it together. It's like a puzzle. Again, on top. I'm gonna go from this side now, but you can move it along whichever way you find it easier for yourself. Okay, so now it's joining this way. I'll make some more space here to carry on. I don't need scissors anymore, that's it. For now, again, under and on top and under. You need to straighten them to be close together and make sure we've got enough on both sides where we finish. So if you can straighten it by either dragging them along or with your finger, you can straighten them that way and that way. If you can see what I'm doing, I'm straightening them. And now I've got now 6 on both sides. Now what I found it earlier on, when I was making the basket, you can see how clean and clear it is there, but inside I've got some sellotape. Now mine is a sparkly silver one, so I can see what I'm doing, but you can use any kind of sellotape you want. And what I did, I just stopped it from moving because otherwise they can all undo themselves. So I recommend, it's much easier if you are gonna secure them that way, because then they don't move. And then you can finish your creation. So, and it's gonna be, it can be on the inside, it can be on the outside, whichever one you want. So there we go. So on the other side, you can see it's a basket. Now we need to bring them all together. So the ends, you collect them together, and that's where you need your stapler. Now ask a parent, family member to help you so that you don't catch your fingers. Okay, that's one end of the basket. And then we've got the other end of the basket here. And again, ask somebody to help you so you don't catch your fingers. Whoops. It's not always an easy job. There we go. But what do we do with this one? We can either fold them or we cut them off. So I said earlier on we don't need the scissors, but actually we do. Now we remove the extra bits. Now, it's not a basket, it looks like a boat. If you want a boat, you can play with the boat like that. But to finish it, to make it a basket, we're just gonna take one piece that's left, and again, use the stapler to staple, or you can use the sellotape to staple it, to sellotape it too, to create that basket handle. Okay, there we go. So that's slightly bigger. You can carry on weaving more and create any shapes you want. You can make them a bit more square and more rounded. Okay? Enjoy the game called Would You Rather Or. You know, you can put any kind of situation, circumstances, or things that you dream of. And this can go on for ages and ages and ages. With your parents, with your friends, with your family, with classmates. So I hope you enjoy this game. So my first question to Lucy, and myself as well. So we kind of take it in turns. I read the question and then we answer it. Lucy, would you rather eat with a fork for the rest of your life or with a spoon for the rest of your life? So it's a question for both Lucy and myself. Now you think about it, you can think about it, and then we say it what we think. So what would you do? Would you rather eat with a spoon for the rest of your life or with a fork for the rest of your life? Lucy?
I would say fork because it's easier than using a spoon for stuff.
Okay, I would rather be with a spoon because you know what? It's rather hard eating ice cream with a fork. It's rather hard eating sometimes even spaghetti and pasta with a fork. And it's rather hard eating soup with a fork.
Yeah, but it's hard eating spaghetti with a spoon. It just slips
Well, I think you need both, really. But what about you? Okay, next question. Would you rather lip read or read people's thoughts? Lucy, would you rather lip read or read people's thoughts?
I would lip read because sometimes I'm quite nosy and I want to try and figure out what people are saying.
Okay, lip read. So it means that when people are far away, you can actually understand what they're saying even though you can't hear them. You know what? I think I would rather be able to read people's thoughts because if they're standing in front of you and they're not actually saying anything, or they are thinking of something and they're not telling it to you, wouldn't it be fantastic to be able to really know when you've done something for them and you would really want to know if they liked it? So how about this one? Would you rather visit the time of Noah's Ark, when Noah's Ark was built, or would you rather visit the time when the Tower of Babel? Now I'm sure you know both stories. Noah's Ark, massive boat, saving the family of Noah and loads of animals. But loads of people died because of God's wrath. But God saved the family to start all over again. Or would you rather visit the Tower of Babel, when people built this huge tower going up to the skies and they wanted to reach God's kingdom, and God stopped their plans and gave them the gift of languages. That's why we have so many languages and people living in different places. And when we go to visit those places, we don't know how to understand unless we speak that language. So, would you rather visit the time when the Tower of Babel was built, or would you rather visit the time when Noah's Ark was built? Lucy?
I would do the Tower of Babel because in the Noah's Ark most people get washed away and killed except for Noah's family.
Okay.
So the Tower of Babel because you could listen to all of the different languages and try and understand them.
Yes, and if you had a chance to pick another language except to English, which one would you pick if you wanted to speak another language? Fluently, like a native.
I don't know, either French or Spanish.
Okay. Well, for me, I think I'd rather visit, well, both situations are amazing, but Noah's Ark, but I would rather be on the side of Noah, and I would rather be a member of his family to make sure that I'm included in that boat. How about you? What would you rather do? Okay. Would you rather have spinach smoothie for breakfast each morning or a piece of lemon, again, for breakfast each morning? So, what would you rather do? Lucy?
Well, that's easy, lemon, because your spinach smoothies are disgusting.
Oh, but it's
and
healthy.
Also, lemons, I don't find them
Make it powerful.
I don't find them very sour, and it's also nice because, like, the zinginess in the lemon wakes me up so that I'm not tired.
Oh, cool. Okay. Spinach smoothie for me, definitely. How about you? What would you rather do? Or maybe you can come up with a different question for that. Okay, what about, would you rather have hot, really hot and spicy food in the summer, every summer long, freezing cold food in a cold winter. What would you rather have?
I'm gonna have to go with really spicy food in the summer because, like, when you have spicy food, it has like this good ingredient to stop you from catching any types of colds.
But in the summertime, you are kind of just hot.
I know, but also, well, it's not always that hot. But in the winter, you can catch a cold like eating ice cream all the time and stuff like that.
Good idea. However, I think I will put loads of clothes and I'm gonna eat freezing cold food
You know,
in
what
the
if you
winter.
didn't have many clothes?
Well, yes, but that wasn't the question. So, how about you? Okay. Would you rather be able to travel instantly to a place or time travel?
They're both the exact same.
No, time travel is
Oh,
traveling to
sorry.
a different time. So, for example, you can go
5
back
minutes
100 years. Yes, 5 minutes, 100 years before, 100 years ahead. Or would you rather, let's say, I would rather be in Spain right now. Or I would rather go to Alaska right now because it's cooler there.
Oh, I don't know.
It's hard, isn't it? Okay, I'll answer while you're thinking, okay? I think I would rather travel instantly. And I believe also this is quite biblical as well. Now, I know we don't travel right now like this, but there has been instances in the Bible where people traveled instantly into a different place, like Spirit took Philip, the evangelist, to a specific place, and he just arrived there. He didn't have to get a donkey or walk there. He just arrived there. However, I know that it's not really possible right now, so if I was to dream about something like this, I would rather travel instantly to get to places. For example, go and visit my family and then come back straight away. Then you don't have to sit in the traffic, sit in the car for hours and hours, or go on a plane.
I would have to say go to like a different country because I've always wanted to like to go to America and stuff like that, and you can just go without paying for a flight.
So
extra
instantly.
fees. But I'd also want to do time travel because
Ooh.
if you were like did something
Scary
if you
though.
did like something wrong and you felt bad, so you could go back in time and fix it instead of
Oh,
doing it.
that's a lovely thing, isn't it? Yes. So you wouldn't go back to the times of the plague, for example.
No,
So some time, or maybe times of when it was a flood everywhere.
no.
Okay, cool, good answer. Okay, what about, would you rather touch a person and that makes them incapable of flying, or touch a person and that makes them nicer to you? So, would you then make something good for everyone? Because if you touch a person and they can't lie to anyone, or touch a person and that makes them nicer to you, they may have been horrible, and you might be wanting to change their attitude to you. So what would you do?
I would go with the first one because say it was like a bully and they were being mean to like everyone in the school. You just touch them and they turn out to be like a really kind and
It's
nice
about
person.
about lying. The only thing it changes for everyone is the lying bit. Okay. Nice is just to you. So it's-
Okay, I would say the lying one then because say they wanted to hide something, they can just go ahead and say it.
okay.
The person probably won't be like as nice.
Now this is a bit of a silly one, okay? Would you rather be a donkey that Jesus rode, or would you rather be this huge whale that swallowed Jonah for a few days? It's talking about being something that we can't be because we are people, but if you wanted to pretend being an animal, would you rather be a huge, big whale that swallowed Jonah when he was trying to get away from God, or would you rather be a donkey that Jesus rode?
I would be the donkey because you would know that you're doing a very important part of an animal because a very important person is like riding on your back. And say you had like a problem, say you were the donkey and you had like a problem like a poorly leg, Jesus would just touch you and then you become
Well, he already touched you by sitting on you. You know that the story about the woman who had a problem health-wise, and then she touched Jesus and she was instantly healed. He didn't even touch her, she touched him. So, donkey would definitely be blessed. I can imagine, yes. Yeah, I think I'll go with the donkey too, although I really like the idea of being really big, like a whale. That would be quite fun. Okay, would you rather click your fingers and lost items appear that you may have lost, or click your fingers and your bedroom gets instantly tidied? What do you think, Lucy?
Probably the ring type thing.
I'll bet it's for many of you as well. I think for me it will be the lost items, because sometimes you spend such a long time looking and looking and looking and looking. Anyway, you can carry on and thinking all sorts of questions, and we might do that again sometime. Would you rather, or how about you go and ask some of your family members some of these questions and see what kind of amazing answers you'll get. But don't forget to answer them yourself, and we'll see you next time. Bye.